hear me okay? Because it's okay. Good.
Yeah.
Just making sure. It was just the music that really threw me for a loop. Thank you so much for being here with us this evening. It has been just so hot, and we're just happy to share some air conditioning with you, and also some words. That's also part of it. But yes, being here in an air-conditioned room is very, very nice, and seeing all of your faces is very, very nice. Please give it up for Straight to Ale for allowing us this space. So very happy to be here. So please remember that you can always, tip your server, tip your bartender, get a little, maybe an extra drink or a fancy cocktail, grab some tacos. There's some great food here, Just enjoy, support this lovely business for allowing us this space. We are also accepting donations, as we do most all the time, because as we are a nonprofit, we do not profit. So if you like this show and you want to help us keep doing our thing, there's a donation bucket right here on the front table in the front of the room if you'd like to give $1 or $2. There's also a link on our website where you can donate at outloudhsv.com on this beautiful banner behind me. So, we have a pretty full open mic tonight. We have a couple of spots left, so if anyone is moved, it's all taken care of. But through with these wonderful people who already signed up. Are you ready to start your open mic? Please welcome up your first reader, Sam.
Hey y'all.
Hi.
Hi.
You bringing my beer with me? I need it.
Yeah.
My grandmother died yesterday, so I would warn you that I'm gonna cry, but many of you probably already seen I'm over here ugly crying already. One thing I've learned about myself in the past couple of years is that community and chosen responsibility are really important for me. So I'm here tonight so I don't spiral. Can't even get started, y'all. I was going to sing a song, but but I'm going to read this. My grandmother asked me to speak at her funeral, and I'm not a biblical person, and I don't know. I started writing today, and this is what I got. Y'all, this might take me a minute.
You're good. Take your time. We got you.
My mother says I should tell a story about you, but I would never get the details right. You would have to fill them in. It's easier for me to tell how things feel than how they are. Not like you, so poised and in control. A woman who chose her legal name over grandma or Mima, and at 91 still sharper than anyone in the family. Even from the bed where you would die, you were making arrangements, giving orders, who was to take what, where, and how to handle this and that after you were gone. Everyone knew better than to suggest anything otherwise. And here I am, 3 days in a row now crying in public on a cafe patio trying to write myself through this maze. I could never be so composed. But with the strongest woman I've ever known, recognize that this too is strength. Stand tall and bear one's heart without shame. It's all I've learned to do. While you were dying, I was in a bar. Dawn was singing covers from the stage, so when she gave that gentle command, let it be, of course I cried. Sometimes you just need permission to feel what must be felt. Stephen was with me, so I ordered his vodka tonics in your honor. Somehow I was sure 300 miles in a fortress of morphine away, you knew. He let me talk about you even when he had to lean close over the noise and the dancing. And then from the crowd, Rachel appeared, and with a hug like a warm coat. What I mean to say, Patsy, is don't worry. I have good friends. When the time finally came, I was nursing a hangover. Borka stopped by with lunch, and we sat and talked until I was ready for him to go. Already I knew I carried you inside me. Started thinking of everything I did that day in terms of we. We sat around. We read poems. We took a nap. I thought we should get out of the house, so I took us for a drive in the truck that belongs to your son, my father, that will belong to me when he, like you, is returned. I saw you everywhere. In the green dancing from limbs, in the light that made silver threads on my arm out the window, in the faint shadows that he pushed across the ground. What's it like in that place behind things? Do you have any want for your old bones, for your home and the precious things it holds? Do you feel us out here, adrift distinctly, or is your touch indiscriminate, a blind blanket? I don't carry you alone, I know. 9 of us survive until your blood moves, and dozens more your love. Stephen says to never stop telling your story, that we die twice, first the body and then the name. So here I commit you to a page. He's wrong, though. Stories end, but something remains.
Yeah, one more time for Sam. There are days that I get up and I am tired and I don't want to come here because it feels like extra work on a day that I'm not supposed to work. But then I come here and I am reminded why this space is so important and why all of these people are so important. Thank you for getting up here. Thank you for trusting us with your heart. Thank you for being vulnerable and showing so much strength. Thank you so much. And thank you all for being a part of this. I don't think I've ever cried by the first reader before. You know, I've had a good track record of crying like very few times at these events, so I'm very thrown off by crying at the first one. So we'll always have that spot. All right, we're gonna move right into our next reader, and we're gonna just welcome warmly up Princess.
So I was going to do 2 poems today, but while I was looking for the second one, I couldn't find it, and I'm starting to wonder if it didn't actually exist. So instead, because the thing that I actually wrote this year, my one for the year, is very short. So we're gonna try to memory something real quick. This is called "I Am the Fool." You're walking along, You're walking along, you catch the dandelion at your left blinking. But wait, dandelions don't blink, so you decide to investigate. But the dandelion just stands there, hunched back, hair teased on its tiny patch of grass and its concrete seeds. Hoping the wind might coalesce with its seeds, stray from the sidewalk to the soil which seems so foreign these days. And I am the fool, you think, as you continue down late paths, because dandelions don't blink. Alright, and this is called post-apotheosis. The friends in my crawl space say my couch is a cryptid. They whisper about its midnight wanderings. I wonder if their musings hold merit. I wonder if the strawberry strands strewn across the cushions are curio or curse. I don't believe them, or so I say. Each morning I creep into the living room, but find nothing left alive. The couch is always firmly in its home, 6 sunken squares of carpet, undisturbed. I wonder if the crawlspace creatures can hear the echoes of my head, if they too are conditioned to care for slumbering spiders, if they too know only cobweb coffins, if they too mistake them for comforts.
Thank you, Josh. That was fantastic. Princess. I don't know. Just
whatever.
stage name. I don't know if I just ruined your
I have many names.
I don't know. I have many names. All right, we are going to keep things going with your next reader. Please welcome up Brett.
Did you adjust this for me? Thank you.
I can do this if I know people's
Let's see if I can adjust it a little bit more. And now for my next trick. Okay, so I have one that I was going to do for Frankie tonight, but she's not here, so I guess I'm not going to do that one. Can y'all hear me? Because so that will limit me to two pieces. First up is I call this payday. Payday, and I can almost live again. My sweat and body aches split, divvied up among giant corporations that loom overhead and feed on America, growing ever fatter on the food that the country and its kids never get to eat. We are the economy, the vast majority of the population, the spenders and the consumers, the makers and workers, a full 98% of the country. We built this country and its companies, generating its wealth, and it is upon our backs that you sit idly, forcing us to carry you as you eat your fine meals, surviving on the smallest of crumbs that drop into our mouths. We are the economy. And what happens when we stand tall and upright? You will roll off our backs where you ride so lazily and your empires will topple to the ground. We defy the American gods of privilege and greed, standing tall in their presence, proclaiming we're worthy without asking their approval. We deserve to live. Thank you. I discovered this on my hard drive this afternoon. It's called Sacrifices. Is that Frankie back there? No. Okay. Line them up in the parking lot at the door, dressed up to look as cool as they can. Line them up, the little ones, the future, the present, still yawning but ready for the bell in the bright morning light, shining on the promise they hold. Line them up, hesitant and innocent, like lambs to the slaughter, for the gunman who's come for them as the final bell rings and we see for whom it tolls. I hear your response, the blame you cast carelessly on the other side, the atheists, the other assorted godless liberals. It's because we took God out of school. We took him out of the classroom so he won't protect our kids from madmen. But as I hear what else spills from your lips, I wonder which God you mean. Jesus or the gun? The American God of death, whom you place next to your heart, whom you look and pray to for protection. In the country with more guns than any other, you insist there aren't enough, always calling for more guns, more bullets, more freedom to carry anywhere and everywhere, spreading the gospel of the firearm and evangelizing to the lost, the unarmed damned, what they need for their salvation, the almighty arbiter, the alpha and omega, tool of death for the average pro-lifer. Thanks.
Brett. And hi, welcome new people. I know that it's like weird family style seating want to find seats with people who aren't your people, that's totally fine. Just, come on in and hang out, make yourself comfortable. Or feel free to stand in the back, because that's also a vibe too, right? Then it makes me feel like we've got like a real full room. Right? Standing room only, guys. It was a real big show. They all came to see me. All right. Thank you again, Brett. Yes, and also while I'm up here, I'm going to mention this wonderful once upon a time was a janitor's cart and is now a mobile bookstore that we have over here. Yes, it's got things for sale that you can buy that support our community, like anthologies featuring members of our community, and T-shirts, and notebooks, and pens, and so many things that I have to look over to remember what they are in there because I don't remember all the time. But if you ever want to buy any of those things, you can come up and see Borka right here at the end of the show over by this wonderful cart that I swear is not a janitor's cart anymore. And you can buy some cool stuff. Maybe you get a gift for Father's Day. I don't know what your deal is. Maybe you get a gift for yourself. That's also fine too, We don't need excuses to buy ourselves stuff. We just do it. It's going to be great. Again, as I mentioned, there are new people in the room, so we do have 3 more spots left. Okay, well, I will get you signed up. I will hand this to you when I am done. And we will welcome up your next reader, Garrett.
Oh, that's how this works. Anybody else get so nervous that like your fingers kind of tingle a little bit?
All the time.
Yeah, all the time.
It's not just me. Okay, cool. My name is Garrett. Some of you might know me as You May Die. I was actually published on a copy of totally buy a copy.
Yes.
But just a shameless self plug. There's going to be the Huntsville Flea out here on the green between Street to Ale and Yellowhammer the next Saturday. So if y'all want to come out, I'll be selling stuff there too. So yes. But I had one poem I wanted to read today. It's kind of, I've had it untitled, but I guess the working title I had for it right now is Blameless. It kind of harkens back to the poem we just heard called Payday. So really bad placement in the timeline for my part. But I guess I'll go ahead and read it anyway. A collective rebellion pours into an arena for self-actualization, culminates in throats punched using freedom as gospel flows. Freedom, but the cosmos is only part chance. We lose our time. The journey getting progressively shorter and less spectacular. Advertising has its role to play, serving a grasping ruler with empty desires and idols. The stupidity of superstition is unveiled and filthy fame weeps. We see indeed who the louses are. They tear the jade foliage left between galaxies of constellations. Venus reverses her course under a different polity. Smoldering planets pool parallel on quiet rings beyond mighty stars. Ripples through metropolis bulbs, $1,000 lips. Decades enter, reign over evenings that vanish after courting fair love. Societies follow socialites, duplicity returning to richer truths. Whisperers creak stories about failure of vision, thieves worth stealing. Common wives with hidden sons prepare precious dervishes of indecision, menus specializing in dark youth. Looking in through mist to dim distant nights, to roads gone black and tattered by aching lust. Contracts, courses contorted into intricate cities of changing angles. Broken attachments spoiling windows with light, scrounging for vulnerable flesh. Leaving deep warmth, streaming skirts that unfurl away. Tightened muscles pushing groin, hips, breasts heaving. Bodies seek new lovers of voice and vice. Cold drops of beauty and blood, only to see the disappointment there in an eye. Bad stitches, wasting thread on ugly strands painted across steel at sunrise. Through uncertain cities, silent crime's scorn verse coward. God saves only himself before being roped. God chooses another place where the sun shines brighter than a diamond. Our planet but a teapot perched across a dangling sky that won't survive the night. We refuse to sleep small. Savage as an abandoned bride, and the planet is a dying planet. The planet is dying because the planet is dying. The planet is a dying planet because the planet is dying. The planet is a dying planet because the planet is dying. The planet is a dying planet because the planet is dying. The planet is a dying planet, and it's not your fault. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. So many times you've lost count. It's not your fault. You're a good person. So the villain is whoever you ascribe it to be. Thank you.
What an ending. That was a fantastic moment. And honestly, we love when our open mics just like randomly get a theme going. So we would love the placement. It totally works on out. Please welcome up our next reader, Anna.
Hello, everyone. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, so earlier this month, my dad and I went to Maple Hill Cemetery, and cemeteries are so obviously associated with death. And despite that, there was just so much life there. There were squirrels running around, there were birds singing, different types of birds, mockingbirds, blue jays, cardinals. And I just thought that was really interesting, how a place that's just filled with death is also teeming with life. And I just thought that was really poetic. And so I wrote a poem about it. Fresh out of my brain, wrote it yesterday. So here it is. I went to the place of death today, and I was surrounded by life. The silence of the cemetery, a solemn yet sublime setting, broken only by the sounds of existence. A mockingbird sang his strange tunes while I walked the paths of Maple Hill, and a blue jay sat atop a tombstone, singing his praise of the Sunday afternoon. I saw squirrels neglecting their respects, chasing one another across burial grounds, doing silly squirrel things. I wonder what they're up to. Trees provide me shade from the Alabama summer sun, and the breeze dries the sweat dripping down my back. Wind, breeze, has always been a spiritual thing to me, that even surrounded by the dead, it can make me feel so alive.
Wonderful work and a wonderful reminder. We love those new poems too. It's always nice and you're like, we get a fresh one up here. Always good. All right, please join me in welcoming up our next reader, MC AC the Rat Lady.
I went out to California this spring with my Huntsville brother to visit our California brother. And our California brother had my mother's scrapbook, and there was a poem in there by her father. So this is Father's Day. I have to read you this poem, and I'm trying to do a Swedish accent visit so it's more authentic for you all. My name är Oscar Jansson. Jag been in the Sila Har since I come from Minnesota. It's been nearly 20 years. When I first been making home here, few months lived hard but me. Nothing can I see but sagebrush. Yes, so far as I can see. Many times I stand just looking, then the warm day come in spring, thinking of old Minnesota where the Minnehaha sings. By and by come other fella, come and settle hard by me. Some been Yankee, some been German, but they mostly all Bon Sweet. And they all plant lands to orchard, and they all build little shack. By all time just feeling homesick, wishing, longing to go back to old home in Minnesota by the Yim Hill Railroad track. So we see friends and all relations, visit round, and then we find we've been homesick for the Sela. It's been home a long, long time. We've been back again in Sela, and in Sela Viscose, till old Gabriel played a bugle on the last great Judgment Day. This is one about grandparents who have died. My parents and my grandparents have died. And this is called Stuff Wrap. Grandma and Grandpa, Mom and Dad, can we have this discussion without repercussion? We know you might be busy, but some of your junk might be risky. And you're stuck with the junk in the trunk. Bins, baskets, boxes all around. Mucho papers might explode. Get it out and take a peek. We know it will take more than just a week. No more shoulder pads. Move to a new fad. And all the clothes you had. Your junk just makes us mad. The world is now digital. No more rigid, you all. Slides no longer square and small. Slides on PowerPoint, that's all. Make yourself, old technology is all junk. Old technology smells like a skunk. Get you some spunk. Get rid of that junk. Get rid of that mail. Have a garage sale. To fund our education so we can help the nation. Call yourself mature? Saving stuff is not the cure. Want less to dust for sure? Your junk is like manure. But if we can help you make the house look new, then no more clutter will make us sputter. Grandma and Grandpa, Mom and Dad, can we have this discussion without repercussion?
I found herself thinking, man, I love coming to these events once a month, but nope, it's just not enough for me. I would love to support that amazing, cutie little nonprofit just a little bit more. Well, you can. You can become a member of Outlaw Huntsville for just $25 simple dollars for a year. And then when you do that, you get this cute little mug for your cute little community.
If I need a love, come see me.
Yeah, and if you want to sign up for a membership, you can do so tonight. Again, at this not a janitor cart, definitely a valid bookstore. It's just $25 simple dollars a year, and that just goes towards helping us keep on doing these events, keep on moving, and you get access to like a private Discord and members-only events and like meetups and all that fun stuff. And there's a newsletter, and it's really fun. So if you have a little extra to spare and you want to support our little nonprofit, then we encourage you to do so. We would greatly appreciate you. I'm gonna put this back down now. Okay, now we're gonna welcome up your next reader, Sarah.
Yeah.
Woo! I should have waited until I stopped. Okay.
I had a baby about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah!
I wrote this, if I can find it again, while I was going to labor with her. Show me your goodness. Open your palm and let it fly out like moths, like all the things you didn't get to death. You are crouching in the snow and begging, please don't ask it. But she does. No, you don't have to be good. But for her, you ask what you are made of and find, of course, you're more than moths. Your daughter is a womb. Imagine questions that you have. An almost and a maybe girl, a very precious ask. Your daughter is the spring, your winter, and you know more of last, but hold her first for her like you are giving her the rain, just to see what she does with it. And where will she run rampant if you can't at least protect her peace? And so you must be, and so you must be. What are you made of? More than moths. If not good, then more than feathers. If not feathers, more than wind. If not wind, then nothing less than everything she needs. And who decides what your daughter deserves? Where does the field that you leave her in? You do not have to be good. You do not have to be. But if the world is going to be, so do you. More than moths, more than moths. Stockpile all your candles, lanterns, lovers. Set them lighted in the field. Rise you up your cricket symphonies. If the world isn't, you'll make it. Oh, you'll make it be. By the threat of all your winter, you will make it more than moths.
Yeah!
The title is important there. It's after Mary Oliver's You Do Not Have to Be Good, when she talks about you can just be the soft animal of your body, but it turns out when you are a mother, you do have to be good. I am also going to read you this because it is Father's Day and the father of my children is not here. This is for my children. But I wrote this for him. Also, happy Father's Day to fathers. Sorry. Okay. It says, I am not myself. I am happy. Maybe it's the summer seeping in, or maybe it's the creeks calling themselves saltwater. The baby does not sleep. The boy runs like a bull on through me, like the red from your birth is a flag with me to keep him on. The man who loves me walks into me like I am mud flats, like the tide is the way out into a hurricane the neighboring state. He does not have to swim. It's easy. I'm beginning to know myself in their mouths. Mama, Monday, bull ringer. I do not even lose myself. Instead, I bleed like ink. They are chromatography. Pour them on me and my colors show. Say what I am, and there's 100 things that I am also.
It's really the most awkward microphone. I'm so sorry. We don't have any money. Did I mention that? So we just use what we're given. This is a free mic stand, everybody. One more time for Sarah. That is so badass. You're so badass. All right. We're halfway through our open mic, people. We're just moving right along. Please welcome up your next reader, Mario.
Hello, how's everybody? Okay. I have two poems today. They're not poems. Not that cool. One of them's shorter than the other, but I think I called this one Fake Covers. I think a lot of people tend to like when the air breathes like spring. Bright, happy future. Nature's notes hanging the resonant bark in absent public parks. Raining big leaves with wide open palms. Give us that spark. We always need it. One by one, my slipping masks had me flipping scripts today. And I took a risk on trying to feel anything other than trying to forget. Instant regrets. Tried to let the smells of wild define me, instead of the usual thought routine. It can be so drowning, waiting for the projector to run out of the reel to show me. My sound, does it really make people dance like that every time they hear it? Leap at the void when I can't even hear it? Oh, how many colors people show me when they tell me how my colors look, but I don't see them. In the drunken lights, those drunken nights make me feel alive. When I disassociate from the present and shift into something infinite, perhaps forgettable. One can only hope to finally be treated like anything less than our breeding mistakes. Just let me be the serotonin in the woods, or maybe something rare you might only find once in your lifetime. Okay, and here's the second one. I am adept at closing off wounds that smell like roses. You can choose to be close to me if you like, but just know, the air around me teases and pulls when I don't mean for it to. I don't mean for you to fall into interest. Truthfully, the likes of many do not often paint my skies with wildfire. But when I find who I am looking for, feather flame and perfect, I must always be prepared to give it away.
Thank you, Mario. Always such a pleasure to hear your work. That was fantastic. So next month, when you come in and see us on the third Sunday of July, we're going to have a slightly shorter open mic, which we're going to start doing seasonally because we're bringing our features back to you because we had such a good time with our last feature, Josh Baker. So I just want to give you a little plug for what's happening next month. We're going to have a 10-spot open mic, and then we're going to have a 30-minute feature with Dee Marie. And if you're familiar with our community, Dee Marie is fantastic and actually was scheduled to feature with us pre-pandemic times and was our first out loud online feature. But we want to give them a full-on stage to perform on, so they're wonderfully willing to come back and see us next month. I'm going to read their bio for you just so you can get a little taste of what's happening. They're a fantastic poet, truly one of my favorite Alabama poets. Dee Marie is a poet from Marion, Alabama, by way of Tuscaloosa. They are a young, gifted lyricist with an affinity for celebrating the beauty and complexity of themes like love, sexuality, and blackness. In 2019, they self-published a book of poetry titled The Genesis of Dee Marie, and their second collection, titled My Muse, was released in May of this year. And you can explore more of their work. You can follow them on IG at Dee Marie Poetry and check out their website at mymusebook.shopify.com. But they're, of course, going to have some books available for purchase next month as well if you'd like to buy them in person and get them signed. And it's going to be fantastic. They're truly one of my favorite young poets in Alabama, so please come and check that out. Don't miss out. And of course, again, just a reminder on the shorter open mic so that we can allow time for a feature. If you want to sign up, the spots are going to be a little more limited, so be sure you get here at 6 right when the list goes out. Sounds good? You guys got it? All right, housekeeping done. Back on with the open mic. Please welcome up our next reader, Lona.
My wife's a musician, and she says it drives her crazy to see poets mess with the mic. After my first poem, I'm going to need 11 people to come up quickly because I'll need your help because it's a shape poem, and this is the only way I could figure out to get the point of the shape. So don't fuddle around. Just 11 limber people. Come on. I wrote this one today. It's another quadrille, rules of quadrille, 42 words and a word that's assigned to you from someone else. Now my freaking brother-in-law gave me the word peacock, okay? So, it's called Childhood Memories from the Zoo. Wanting first to see the alligators, I fussed until we hid. They just lay still, not moving. They nearly seemed just dead. The peacocks held my mind, strutting proudly, feathers fanning. It seems they had it made. But they just looked so angry, I think they weren't getting laid.
I want to be cheated.
Don't tell the word.
Okay.
All right, get in line.
This is so fun. This is the most fun. I know what your word is.
I need 2 more.
You go.
Okay,
You go. I'm gonna get it. You're doing it.
The shape, if you go to my website, the poem's called War, so we really turn yours over and say War.
Take it.
It's a spiral that goes around to the center, and the words come down like a dagger to the center. So picture that shape. But then these words that go around the circle form a sentence. So we'll just stay in line, but all right, so not yet.
Eager. We're learning. It's good.
I wrote this a bit ago, but I'm going to dedicate it to Vladimir fucking Putin. War. Now is the time for all men to answer the call to stand for their freedom and way of life and their God and the purity of all women and children and apple pie, to bleed and stand for mother's love, and asks of you not what your country can do for you, but what anyway to do, and they must not say, why do we not rise and protect our freedoms and our condoms, and then most do not even stop to remember the snacks, the salty ones that they or you love so much, because it's better to be right, even if you hate to be killed for the flat zips, the bang to your cock. Stand up and be counted and own the flowing stench of blood.
Nice.
Now God asks, why do you hate your own blood? Thank you.
That's good.
And then this one's called Blood. Sam's poem made me want to read it. That's okay. It's called Blood, and also I read Kimberly's first poem in her book, and they sort of went together. It's called Blood. How do we regard this constant stranger running always in and through us, bringing gifts as a fountain, quietly nourishing but never wending past edges of the waking dreams and visions it only ever carefully feeds? Unless we sometimes see a red round drop flattened starkly against a clean white plate when a knife slips while cooking, or if a razor nicks our skin. Also, in either the arms of loving passion or the clutches of solitary longing, it brings waves of fire to our brain, confusing all our plans and shifting our formerly certain foundations. And finally, when at last it either seeps through or oversteps with violence beyond the fragile boundaries of the streams, to become tributary to all the rivers, joining tides that pound and billow to both build and carry off the sands of every distant shore, will we then know our blood as it mingles with the salts of all that was or will be? Perhaps we will be wiser then, but not likely to be smarter. Will we both alternately rise and curl with the breakers or merely fall? Will we feel the quiet premonition that water may be thicker after all? Thank you.
Love a little interaction. I also just appreciate, sometimes you go places and they're like, all right, we're going to need some volunteers, and everybody's like, oh, I'm just stuck in it. That's gross. I don't want to be a part of it. No, y'all are up. Y'all are over. You love that. Yeah, keep it up yourself. You want to look good. You want to help out. That's what it's about. Coming together, sharing them words. All right, please welcome up your next reader, Jason.
So, is this going through the speaker? Am I audible? So I thought I knew what I wanted to read tonight. And then the first poem went, and I changed my mind radically. So this is a poem I don't perform a lot. I did slam it once. It's called entropy. It's a dinner plate, suspended 4 1/2 feet above the kitchen floor. Frozen, all you can do is stare and idly calculate about the impact and the entropy. Until it was 3 years ago in a borrowed dorm room and you could see your mother's open palm hanging 5 1/4 feet above the hardwood. Your cheek tenses in deja vu, then relaxes when you turn to see your bedroom window, where your 9-year-old brother is straddling the sill 26 feet above the ground, telling you how the concrete might kiss him like his mother doesn't. When you look down, he is hugging your waist in church parking lots 145 miles apart, and you're watching your mother both run away from and stomp towards you, and you don't know which is worse, so you idly calculate about impacts and the entropy. And entropy is just a measure of disorder and multiplicity. The number of ways a situation can be different, but fundamentally the same. And the second law of thermodynamics is supposed to be complicated, but you understand it intuitively. Know intimately how entropy seeks its maximums, have seen time go forward and loop around multiplicities, backstitching their way into your calendar irreversible. And they are all cruel jokes that have no good punchline. How is a raven like a writing desk? How is your brother like a dinner plate? How is a cabinet like a window, like a parking lot? How is your mother like a mother? The concept of negative absolute temperature is bizarre. It describes an object which, in its entropic hunt for stability, will force its energy into any nearby system. It has never been a stranger to you. Your mother exists at a negative absolute temperature, cannot stop chasing stability down black holes from which only rage and confusion can escape. In this statistical cruelty, her moods could force their energy upon anything. Even the sun. Even her son. Even if somehow you could take every year in her frozen hellscape and squeeze it to a second of near infinite hell, it would never be enough. You would never be enough. You will never stop seeing things as they were 100 times before. Hanging in a moment. Suspended in sunbeams like motes of dust, kept afloat by their heat but frozen to the observer. Observe her. Phantom in the shadow, you cannot stop casting. You are not the perfect insulator. You cannot absorb her heat forever. You know that the second law of thermodynamics applies only to isolated systems. And how fortunate then that it is you. That your multiplicities may increase without bound, may increase without bound, may increase without bound. You are bound to her, backstitching dinner plates into your memories, and you have never felt more isolated than when you realize you can only speak your mind in rooms full of strangers. Thank you.
Jason, you're rapidly becoming. Just keep on showing up. I don't know, you've missed out for like a lot of years of our existence, but we want to hear more years of your existence. So please keep sharing. That was fantastic. So good, so good. We've just got a couple more readers left on our open mic, and then y'all can mingle and find a poet that maybe you haven't met before that you want to tell them like their work, or you want to order another beer or whatever. We got time for that. We got time for you. It's just about hanging out after we share the links too. Please welcome up your next reader, Grant.
Raise the mic, but not high enough.
I tried.
I have several shorter poems. We'll see how it goes. The first is a call to arms. Well, there you go. We are now functional. The upgrades have come online. This battle station is fully operational. Man the ramparts, blow the horn, beat the drum, let's sound the alarm. I want every able-bodied man and those that aren't as well. To the armory, the blacksmiths, the mighty forge, with plate armor and chain mail, leather pauldrons, archers behind and spearmen to the front. Here be dragons, There be monsters at the door, the horde is at the gate, but we will hold the line. Never has this fortress fallen. We will look to the east at the first light of the fifth day and find hope in the morning. In Rome does sit the hallowed Pope, he of stillborn hope, a dream of better days. Always have we dared to strive, with great ambition and with endless mechanical drive. Those castles had we built, those armaments that bring guilt, the armies risen and the cities raised. From towering Babel to Babylon fell, our heroes, slayers of dragons, let ring the mighty bell. O Heracles, mighty Thor, Zeus, Apollo too, older gods, those temples still that stand, fall into battle, in Valhalla plays the band. Even gods may die. The clock of progress ticks, we cannot turn the tide. If our time has come, and no more can we glide, then let us not any more abide. We must regain an artistic fidelity. Together, we shall retune the universe. Lions and monsters, really awesome stuff. But only so much as good reason should allow. Towards and against, a great boulder pulling up a mountain, and the boulder pushing down. But now we're to comparative wizards of the order, and the voice of Saruman can carry only so much power. On the mountain there are giants made of stone, and they fight against the heroes of our story in the lightning of the storm, dueling with dragons in the wars before the dawn of time. Undecidable problems, questions the Archmage could not answer, nor could his master. The oracle at Delphi, Didyma in Turkey, wisdom beyond the ken of men, a desperate plea against the darkness. To achieve the knowledge of the sages, you must first breathe the gas, seeping from the earth. At the entrance of the cave, there is a flame that burns forevermore. One more poem for you. A looping, division, good and evil, heaven and hell, the sacred flame against the darkness, the campfire of humanity. Further division, the mother and the son of the sun god's son, and the son of the neighboring kingdom. A pantheon spreading outward, twisted geometries of iterated reality, a polyhedral dragon looking through the prism of the windows in the cathedral of heaven that reflects the light onto a pyramid built on a trilogy of trilogies, capturing the motion blur of the stars and the inevitable contraction and unwinding of creation.
I tried to put it down. I tried to put it up all the way, but I can't reach the high.
You gotta work on your vertical, man.
So much I can do. Wear heels next time, I guess. All right, we got 4 more readers on our open mic. Please welcome up Boyana.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Thank you. Closer? Okay. Thank you. There you go. Okay. Perfect. Thanks. So last time, I think I rushed to the last poem thinking that I may not be able to squeeze it in 5 minutes, and I didn't do it the justice. It's a short poem, and I'll read it again, especially that we have also a few more people in the audience. More people in the audience. So, then speak kind soul of ancient times, of gentle streams and mystic rhymes, of darkest skies and stars so bright, to poet's heart true delight. Whisper of the silent wind, echoing on the river stream, turning into thunder, a roar of majestic waterfalls. Drops are shaking in wild dance. Drops are breaking, reuniting. Rainbow rising to appear. I can touch it, must be near. You can touch it, must be real. Magical and also dear. Kind soul of ancient times, of gentle streams and misty times. And now salute to all grandmothers of the world. I very much feel your pain and sorrow, and I guess, grandmother was very dear person in my life, and even after she's gone, she's still here. So salute to all grandmothers. I'll drink in that name when I sit down. But whoever feels the same, please. And I do mention grandmothers in this poem somehow, just in one verse, but what a realization. I cannot be married to a man. I can love a man, but I cannot be married to one. I'm already married. I'm already married to the universe. This beautiful world we live in. Each molecule of air I breathe in provides me with strength, passion, and love I need to share with the world, returning to the universe that very same life it is giving to me. I cannot be married to a man. I'm already married to the woods, sky, sun rays that bath my face, flowers, meadows and bees, rivers and oceans, birds that just came out of their eggshells and are trying to spread wings and learn to fly. I'm married to soil I walk on, to every true heart that beats within a living being, to glass-polished waveless surface of calm Mediterranean Sea, and distinctive smell of islands from Gibraltar to Bosphorus. I'm married to crawling ants and spiders, snakes and lizards, morning dew that rests on the leaves of 100-year-old oak tree, to the raindrops and snowflakes, each one different from the other. I'm married to you, and you, and you. But I cannot be married to a man under the human laws, under the signatures on the paper born out of insecurity of human soul, preventing its spirit from soaring to the heights, enforcing rules and guidelines, mind over the heart. I am married to the fire and butterfly, soft whispers of wood creatures at dusk, shadows that hide in city streets, smell of fresh morning coffee and baked pastries that grandmothers of the world make only for us. To each grain of sand ever pushed to the shore, and each one taken back to the ocean depths. To wild horses, wolfpacks, deer, squirrels, turtles and rabbits, stray dogs and stray cats, watering in the alley behind my house. And birds that wake me up each morning with a new song. To the wind in the willows, and the tears of a willow tree that feels all the pain held within ice-covered heart, drawn to the abyss of intelligent life. I'm married to all that eyes can see, senses feel, and mind suspect. But I cannot be married to one man, yet I can love one with the depth of the universe hidden in my heart. I thought once that I was married to one mountain. Now I know that I'm married to all the mountains of this world. I thought once that I was married to one island, one sea and sunrise. Now I'm married to all of them at the same time. The only contract we have, one indestructible time, the very force of life, beating rhythmically from the depths of our one and only heart.
Our next speaker, it's been a long time, baby, back on the mic, Chandler.
Like, I can't help but be super emotional being back with these people, because it's been like years, y'all. Hi, I'm Chandler. Nice to see you all again. Please don't call me my dead name, I'll fight you. I haven't written anything in years, but I really wanted to do something, so here's some poems that I love a lot, and hopefully you like them. This one is Don't Do That by Stephen Dunn. It was bring your own if you wanted anything hard, so I brought Johnny Walker Red. along with some resentment I'd held in for a few weeks, which was not helped by the sight of little nameless things pierced with toothpicks on the table, or by talk that promised to be nothing if not small. But I'd consented to come, and I knew what part of the house their animals would be sequestered, whose company I loved. What else can I say? Except that old retainer of slights and wrongs, that bad boy I hadn't quite outgrown, I brought him along too. I was out to cultivate a mood. My hosts greeted me, but did not ask about my soul, which was when I was invited by Johnny Walker Red to find the appropriate glass and pour. I toasted the air. I said hello to the wall. I walked past a group of women who were dressed to be seen, undressing them each one by one, and I went up the stairs to where the Rottweilers were, Rosie and Tom, and got down with them on all fours. They licked the face I offered them, and I proceeded to slick back my hair with their saliva. And before long, I felt like a wild thing, ready to mess up the party, scarf Thor's divorce, but the dog said, no, don't do that. Calm down. After a while, they open your door, they let you out, they pet your head, and everything you might have held against them is gone. And you're good friends again. Stay, they said. This one had me crying in high school. It's first poem for you by Kim Adamisio. I like to touch your tattoos in complete darkness, when I can't see them. I'm sure of where they are, know by heart the neat lines of pulsing lightning just above your nipple, as if by instinct I can find the blue swirls of water on your shoulder where a serpent twists, facing a dragon. When I pull you to me, taking you until we're spent quiet on the sheets, I love to kiss the pictures in your skin. They'll last until you're seared to ashes, but whatever persists or turns to pain between us, they will still be there. Such permanence is terrifying. So I touch them in the dark, but I touch them trying. Okay, if you've ever had a friend die, it's really hard and it's really sad, and this is a poem that I found about that just really gets me. It's called Heavy by Mary Oliver. That time I thought I could not get any closer to grief without dying, I went closer. And I did not die. Surely some God had his hand in this, as well as friends. Still, I was bent, and my laughter, as the poet said, was nowhere to be found. Then, said my friend Daniel, brave even amongst lions, it's not the weight you carry, but how you carry it. Books, bricks, grief. It's all in the way you embrace it, balance it, carry it. When you cannot and would not put it down. So I went practicing. Have you noticed? Have you heard the laughter that comes now and again out of my startled mouth? How I linger to admire the things of this world that are kind and maybe also troubled. Roses in the wind, the sea geese on the steep waves, a love to which there is no reply.
I love the Mary Oliver theme also developed tonight. That's always the thing. We've got two more readers on our open mic. Your next reader is Kimberly. Giving myself a bunch of grief about how I wrote this book and then I was like, I haven't written anything that I've liked since then. But I've really actually been writing a lot and I never give myself credit. So I'm going to actually force myself to start reading new poems here. So read two new poems. They're both short. We're going to get through it. This first one is called Grief in a New Room. You are sleeping on the wrong side of the stairwell. This is not the room where you used to paint the walls, and now your dreams are upside down and backwards. And he is still alive and just down the street. And you are going to go visit him at his dad's after the holiday. Go back to sleep in this room. Keep him alive in your nighttime mind. Let him linger there, among the Christmas movies and the jingles, simmering in the brain stew with you in an old house with a new room where you've never kissed him before, but also where you've never had to lose him. Wake up. Don't correct your subconscious. Call his dad. Tell him how much you miss them. At least that hasn't changed. This is a breakup poem. If you're like me, are you like me where when you write a breakup poem, you imagine all of the breakups together, or are you not a masochist? You just make them into mecha sad, just so you can get all the feelings out. Okay. Returning the last of your belongings. A piece of styrofoam floats out of the bed of a red Chevy, and suddenly the dual lanes are covered in snow. It is Thanksgiving, and I am driving to forget that I have nowhere to drive to. My car keeps the heat in. I am grateful. My dogs curl quiet in the back seat. I am grateful. The passenger seat still smells like you. I am grateful. The bag of your belonging weighs heavy enough to trick the airbag into thinking that you are still here. I am grateful. Your doorway is dark. The bag sits heavy on the top step. You are not home. I am grateful. I did not drink today. I am grateful. I ate a bagel, ran an errand. My body let me do these things. I am grateful. The snow on the street makes it seem so cold outside the windshield. It reminds me of home, and how many times I have survived losing a love in so many more tragic ways. And I am grateful for that too. When the styrofoam sticks to the side mirror, streaks its way to the window, my dog looks up curious, licks, yawns, rests his head heavy back onto his paws. Back in the driveway to the home that I still feel like a stranger in. The home that I bought because I had nowhere else to go. That reminds me only that there was no one there inside, microwaving day-old coffee or keeping the couch warm while watching Netflix or speaking softly while watering the plants. I fear that my body keeps all types of grief in the same place. Doesn't know how to separate the levels of losses, and everything around me feels like closing credits all the time. How do we grieve those who are still here, in front of us, eating their lunch and wiping crumbs on their jeans before clocking back into their life? I close my eyes, and I imagine the styrofoam snow flying into the windows, filling the entire car, when every instinct is telling me to run again. This time, I am held in place, a fragile gift. For the evening, Victoria. This is so hard. Okay, so before I get to my poem, I have to talk a little bit. I work in a store with about 100 people, and recently we were doing like some cleaning, and we gathered all the lost and found belongings of my coworkers into a bag. And the funny thing is that even though it's 100 people, I can tell you, like, that's Alicia's sweatshirt. She wears it all the time. Or that can't be Vince, because he always wears black. You know, does anybody here know too much or a lot about your coworkers? Okay. So, this past week, one of my coworkers passed away. Yeah, it's been really hard. So I wrote this poem after that, and I'm sorry, your poem really started. In a good way. So there are many people around us who don't know that their presence matters or that their existence matters. There's so many people. It could be acquaintances, it could be coworkers, it could be your favorite customer. They don't know that they matter to somebody. So this poem is about that. And it's called The Littlest Thing. I know you might sometimes feel like the littlest thing, small and unimportant like a bug. I wonder if you ever go home and sit alone and you find yourself wondering if anyone ever thinks about you, if anybody ever wonders about getting to know you, the real you, the you deep, deep down inside, the you that is hidden away like a cicada underground, without song, without a voice, without light. I wonder if you ever wonder if someone ever thinks about you,
when you're not around. I do. I think about you. I know we might not know each other, so this might sound creepy, but I remember you. We never spoke, but I remember your face. And I remember those days when you didn't show up. Not to guilt you. Believe me, I know what it's like to either not be able to get out of bed in the morning or to not feel like you don't have a reason to get out of bed in the morning. To feel undeserved guilt and shame because you had to cancel plans again on a day everyone else describes as sunny, happy, perfect. I remember you. I'm just telling you this so you know that I see you when you're here. I remember when you come. And I notice the empty space created in my world on days when you don't show up. When you can't show up as yourself. All I ask is that you come as you are. Your presence is a flicker like the glow from a lightning bug. Oh, how I ponder your glow. I wait for the next flicker with anticipation. If enough of us fireflies come together and glow and flicker, we could be a sparkle in the darkest night of the soul. We could make others believe we are a constellation here on Earth instead of 97 light years away. Look at the stars. Look at how they shine for you and everything that you do. And you, I remember you too. You and I make small talk in passing. You too, I may not know your name, but I know that you always sit right there 3 days a week. And you wear that gray hoodie sweatshirt, blue jeans, glasses, comfortable sneakers. I know you sit right there in that spot, in that seat every time. I know that like I know that the flowers bloom in my dad's garden every spring right there in that spot. If someone asks me, I can tell them that you'll get the chicken poppers, a slice of berry chantilly cake, and a bottle of lavender kombucha. If I close my eyes, I can see you in that spot where you blew 3 times a week. But I wonder if you ever go home and sit alone, and as you wonder if anyone ever thinks about you. I do. I think about you. I know we're only acquaintances, so this might sound weird, but I remember you. Our conversations don't go too deep, but I remember your voice. In all those days when you don't show up, may I tell you that I wonder why not to guilt you. No, it's the opposite. I'm standing here applauding every time you did something hard, like getting up and getting out of bed. Believe me, I know what it's like to feel like you don't have a reason to. It's on those days that I sit up and put my shoes on, even when I have nowhere to go. You, how can I forget you? I can't. I know someone told you that you're forgettable. That there's something wrong with you and that's why people leave you. Or that you're not enough, or that you are too much, or that you're way, way behind compared to other people your age, or that your pain or your grief or your need to undergo a metamorphosis is not valid. Or you passive aggressively said these things to yourself and gift wrap them as just a joke. No, I may not know what to say all the time, and I may not understand exactly what you're going through, and ditto. Sometimes I might just smile, or not. I may not say as much as usual. We all fall short because we are human. Sometimes we don't know what needs to be said, and we don't do what needs to be done, or we say all the wrong things. After all, I am a glitter bomb of a woman with bad coping mechanisms and a tendency to laugh even when I should be crying. Sometimes I won't be smiling and I won't feel like talking. And you may take it as a sign that I have become just another person who sees you as just another person. It's not true. I know you might sometimes feel like the littlest thing, small and unimportant like a bug. If you are a bug, you are a honeybee and the world needs you. You just don't know how much we do. I wish you knew how much we do. Please don't ever go and sit alone and believe that no one ever thinks about you. Someone does. Me. I do. We do. Someone does. Us creeps and weirdos who remember and think about people we know, people we used to know, and people we don't know at all. At random times, I do. After you leave, I do. When you don't come, I do. I remember you. The littlest thing reminds me of you. I I know it sounds strange, but sometimes I sit at home alone and I wonder what you're doing right now. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Victoria. That was fantastic. Please give it up one more time for everybody. Another reminder, we do this on the third Sundays of every month. You can come see us in July. Again, there will be a shorter open mic, so if you want to sign up, get here right at 6 when the list goes out, and then we will have a 30-minute feature with the amazing Dee Marie. We hope to see you then. And in the meantime, be safe. Thank you for coming. Love you. Bye.